Coming up on this episode of Island Vibes and Why,
Turn up the guitar, baby.
we are chatting with multi-Grammy award-winning Haitian musician and producer, Wyclef Jean.
This is just the inside.
And Wyclef's not the only talent in the family. We are talking fashion with his wife, designer Nadge Jean.
We're gonna add all our ingredients in there.
Next, we head into the kitchen to cook up some delicious Haitian food with chef and entrepreneur Nadge Fleurimond. And Haitian piano prodigy Belle Helson Charles plays a piece he performed at Carnegie Hall. That's all coming up on this episode of Island Vibes and Why. I'm Michelle Brown, an island girl in New York. The Caribbean community here is vibrant and diverse with a rhythm all its own. Join me as I explore all the cultural happenings and meet the people who make each island special. From food, fashion, entertainment, sports, business, and so much more. This is Island Vibes and Why.
They call me the music man.
For good reason. Haitian-born Grammy Award-winning musician Wyclef Jean sings, produces, writes, and publishes. His new record, Wyclef Goes Back to School, the single Demons and Joy, features USC college student Maura Mack and Jeremy Torres.
The Fugees came from a university background.
Ready or not?
The Fugees founder is currently developing Bronx-born singer Jazzy Amra.
I think she has pulse. The pulse is like people just, they feeling you naturally, you know.
So what's the music man's advice for artists trying to make it in the industry?
Don't follow a trend, create your own trend. What's up, y'all? This your boy Wyclef Jean, and y'all watching Island Vibes and Why.
Ahead on Island Vibes and Why, fashion designer Nadge Jean talks about her triumphant return to New York's Fashion Week. Hey there, everyone. We are talking high fashion on this episode of Island Vibes and Why.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide.
We're at Fuchsia Designs in Upper Saddle River, New Jersey. The couture fashion company was founded by Haitian-born designer Nadge Jean. She's talking to us about getting back into the fashion business after taking some time off to raise her daughter, her upcoming collection and new store in New York City, and working with her husband, Wyclef Jean, the Grammy-winning musician and producer and founder of the hip-hop group, the Fugees.
I felt very excited coming back.
After 12 years out of the business, it was a triumphant return to New York Fashion Week for Nadge Jean. Last September, she showed her spring 2019 collection. It was inspired by nature. Her husband Wyclef provided the music, her daughter Angelina also there to cheer her on.
I was able to show my daughter a whole nother side of my life.
13-year-old Angelina encouraged her mom to get back into the fashion industry after seeing how passionate she was about design.
It wasn't only me, there was a whole bunch of people in my family telling her it's time to go back.
My wife's incredible, period. Facts, 3,000%.
Wyclef Jean says his wife, a former pre-med student whose father named her after famous Haitian beauty queen Claudinette Forchard, has a God-given talent.
And this is not a now thing, it's really a gift. They be like, well, how do you write songs? I say, I could see it in my head and sitting back and watching how she sketch and how she drapes.
And right now you could see it's like a sheer fabric with a lot of ruffles.
The Fuchsia production studio is busy these days. Claudinette's collection for spring 2020 is almost done.
It's time for me to take it to the next level.
By shifting her focus away from the one-of-a-kind pieces she's known for and making them available to a larger customer base. There's also a new store in the works.
Hopefully, we'll be opening in Soho area in New York because we can't leave New York.
One thing that never changes, her absolute love of color. It's inspired by Haiti.
I am from Caribbean island, so I cannot put that away. This is my background.
Fashion and music coming together with an unmistakable Caribbean vibe. Coming up next on Island Vibes and Why, Haitian chef and entrepreneur Nadge Fleurimond cooks up some delicious food from her island home. Nadge, thanks for talking to us here on Island Vibes and Why. So you are a warrior.
Yes.
It says it on your shirt. You
Yes.
live it.
Yes.
Tell us what that is.
WAR stands for Reach, Organize, Act, and Realize. It's basically my method, my process for getting anything done.
And Nadge Fleurimond has been getting it done for nearly 20 years. This Haitian trendsetter wears many hats. She's a successful entrepreneur, coach, author, and passionate foodie.
I thought I was going to be a lawyer, but I always loved cooking. I grew up with a single dad, Haitian father in Brooklyn, and it was me that was basically the little chef of the house ever since I was 8 years old. But food was just what I did. It wasn't anything that I thought as a career path, especially being Caribbean. You know, it's either you're a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, or you're a failure. Anything else doesn't matter, right? It's those three and then maybe a nurse, right? For me, food was just something I did. And then when I got to school and seeing how people love my food, and friends started asking me to cater on campus, and then administrators were like, oh, who made the food? They're like, Nadge, she's our new caterer. They started hiring me.
After college, she worked in politics, but soon returned to her first love, food.
And I was like, you know what? Why not try this catering thing full time? Because working in politics, I also got to meet a lot of phenomenal people. So this is why I always tell people each step prepares you for the next thing, because during that year, those connections, I'm still reaping the rewards till today, right? They're my clients. I still cater for senators. I still cater for the city.
Along the way, Nadge wrote a cookbook about Haitian food. That eventually led to culinary journeys back home.
Even though I grew up making Haitian food, it was very limited because I grew up in Brooklyn. So I wanted to explore the cuisine a little bit deeper to share both with my audience, but also to learn for myself. Never did I imagine that this book, which was somewhat of a selfish project, right? Learn more about the food, expand my horizon as a chef, as a caterer for my clients. Because even though my clients weren't Haitian most of the time, the food was always inspired by those flavors, the habanero peppers, the scallions, those flavors of Haiti and the Caribbean. So I was like, okay, this will make me better at my craft. But as I was taking on that journey and sharing it with my social media following, they're like, well, take us to Haiti too. And I was like, I never thought of that. It wasn't something that I conceived on my own. It was just like that being there in that moment basically showed me and pushed me into that direction. And ever since then, we've done 3 amazing culinary tours. People love it, Haitians, non-Haitians, people who had never been to Haiti. Through food, I got to understand Haitian society a little bit better, just in terms of gender roles, how class interplays in everything, even how food is made, kitchens in certain homes. So we're gonna add all our ingredients in there.
Nadge whipped up one of her favorite Haitian dishes for Island Vibes and Why.
Herring is so underrated. Look at that. Nice fresh ingredients. So what I did with the herring, but you soak it, you can boil it to remove some of the salt. Refrigeration is not readily available. So a lot of times, one of the things we got from the Tainos and the Arawak Indians was using salt as a way of preserving food. We're gonna add our Scotch bonnet or habanero. So now we add our herring. And then really, that's it.
So Nadge, what advice do you have for somebody who's in a 9-to-5 job right now, looking to leave, want to become an entrepreneur?
A lot of people leave their 9-to-5 so they go into entrepreneurship so they can have freedom to wake up whenever they want. But as an entrepreneur, the one thing you learn is you still gotta get up early. The only difference is you actually want to, because it's something you love, it's something you're passionate about, but you're not going to work less, you're going to work more. It's just that the mission and the purpose and the drive is different.
Spoken like a true warrior.
Hello, nom c'est Nadge, and you are watching Island Vibes NY.
Next on Island Vibes NY, a Haitian piano prodigy whose talents have taken him all the way to Carnegie Hall. Welcome back to Island Vibes NY, where you are listening to some beautiful music by Haitian piano prodigy Belle Helson Charles.
My parents, so they bought me a keyboard before I even born. So I was trying to play the keyboard, so that's where I find my passion.
Belle Helson Charles's passion for playing the piano started when he was just 4 years old in his native Haiti. Now 22 and living in America, his prodigious talent has taken him all the way to Carnegie Hall. That's where a few years ago, he got the opportunity of a lifetime, playing one of his favorite compositions, Rachmaninoff's C-sharp Prelude. What was it like playing at Carnegie Hall?
All my life, I've been wondering if I would be able to sit on a piano where a lot of people are looking at me or watching me, and of course to try to play something.
Belle hasn't gotten this far on his own. Renowned musician and piano teacher Fady Pierre has been at his side ever since Belle came up to him in church and asked him to be his teacher.
I told him that I was the owner of the Piano Academy, and I told him what I do, how I help young kids. And he told me he definitely wanted to take lessons from me. He started to pay for his lessons, and I found that he was very humble. So he sat there with the other kids and pretending that he didn't know much. And after the session was over, I gave him a private session and I asked him to play something. And I realized that he could also teach, so I told him not to pay me anymore. So I gave him free lessons. He's very coachable, very teachable, very humble. Anything that I asked him to do, he would do it. And he would help me with the other kids. And I give him other opportunities. I told him about the crescendo piano competition, and he participated and he won second prize.
Pierre was also instrumental in helping Belle get to Carnegie Hall.
He didn't believe that he could play there. I told him yes. All it takes is commitment, practice, dedication.
Belle also uses his talent to give back to his community. He's the pianist at his Seventh-day Adventist Church in Brooklyn.
What I like is the freedom that you have sometimes, that you have to express yourself about how you feel, and of course to let the people say your gift, and of course to praise God also.
From classical to church to jazz, Pierre has taught his student all styles of music.
Thanks to Fady, Dr. Fady, so I know better how to play the jazz style, and of course I know better how to accompany somebody at church, and I know better how to read the notes.
He's a piano prodigy, but Belle actually wants to become a surgeon who plays the piano. Fady Pierre sees a bright future ahead for his star pupil.
I know the sky is the limit, and Belle is a very, very talented pianist.
That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle Brown. Until next time on Island Vibes NY, one love. Island Vibes NY wants to hear from you. Have a story idea? Fantastic. Tell us. Go to michellebrownmedia.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter.